Hey guys, Mike, IronTrap Garage, doing another week in the life of. So this week we have, as always, a ton of stuff going on. We have a bunch of work going on over at the mill, getting some roofs sealed up and just working on some general repair. Matt's actually headed over there now. I'm gonna start pulling out some of the old three-phase wiring, maybe start working on cutting out some of the grain bins. I have a bunch of stuff to ship today. I'm gonna head over there a little bit later today and work on photographing some big body panels to start getting that stuff organized. Trying to think what else. We might try and get the wiring run to this building this week. Put in a sub panel, run some service cable between the buildings. We've been putting that off for a little while. Walk into the shop and see what Steve's got going on this week. So turn you around. What's up, Steve? What we got going on this week?
Brakes.
And three-wheeler stuff.
And three-wheelers, yeah.
Making some spark plug ends.
Yeah, getting Evan all set up here, show him how to do it, and then he'll pick it up from there. He picks it up quick.
Hopefully we'll hear this thing fire up. I know Evan's been ready for this for a long time. So Steve's been tinkering on the end of last week, working on the 34, doing a juice brake conversion. So this will be, we'll have a whole video out on this thing here soon, doing a whole juice brake conversion. Matt and Steve built a little bracket under there for the master cylinder. So a lot of stuff going on. What are you doing, Moondog?
Playing with his found tennis ball. He's got a big touch area in here now. Found this in the old mill section, old tennis ball. And get it.
You gotta work on your retriever skills, bud.
We do this in the house, but much more control. So he's very excited. Have it? Go.
So while Moon takes a break from working very hard today.
We're playing scrappers.
Yep.
Getting rid of all kinds of...
Our good friend Sam's here helping us out this week. He's joining us on our scrap fiend right now.
Yeah, so we got all this pulled, and all this three-phase was cut from the pole in like the 70s. And they left all the wires just dangle out the ceiling. We have roofers here that are working on resealing this roof as we speak. So last week when they came to prep, he cut the pipe off and we pulled all the wire out of the building. That was the main disconnect area in there. So we pulled that out, and all these boxes were all different, fed three-phase to all different motors and stuff. So we cleaned a lot of this wall. We're trying to decide if we're going to keep this cabinet just for nostalgia or take it off. Might just take it off, I don't know yet. It's a neat old cabinet. But now it's going to open all that space up. These eventually will be disappearing, and this whole corner will be opened up. Or
very usable.
Yeah, so
big
step.
Big Red's bin full of scrap, so why not top it off with more scrap?
Yeah, we'll make some money this week on scrap, I think.
Yeah, just a few bucks. And like all of this stuff eventually will get probably pulled out too, because it's not being used.
Doesn't do anything.
No. We don't know yet. We have to walk around and just press
It
stop.
might look cool to leave it too.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure it's disconnected so somebody doesn't hit something. turns a feed elevator on.
tiring after a while.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There we go. She works.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Pretty decent start for only like an hour and a half. And we got a system down.
I think a lot of it we might just start cutting.
Cut slightly lower.
Weight may just pull out of that thing. I like that method a little better. We lost a couple inches on each foot, but now I understand why they did it that way.
All right, we are at this local estate that we've been cleaning out for the past couple months. We are back to do another load. I don't know where we're gonna put it, but we're taking another load. So we got our friend Sam here with us today. He is helping us move some stuff. So last time we got these couple racks and this wall kind of cleared out. So we're gonna keep headed in that direction. We got some stuff here we need to clean out. That whole cart metal rack is transmissions. So we're gonna pull some of this stuff out and just kind of separate good from bad. There are wheels, there's some bumpers, some odds and ends back there. And then we're gonna jump over to this pallet racking over here. And there's gonna be a bunch of scrap over in this area. There's some like old exhaust and stuff. So try and make another dent today, make it look like we took a bunch with us. Probably take some of this stuff that we started separating out the other day, but just another fun Wednesday at IronTrap Garage. Hey! Put some miles on this thing.
Check it out. Bird was on a bombing run.
Oh boy. At least we know you're driving it. You got bird poop on it.
Oh, yeah.
How'd this thing drive today?
It still gets the death wobble.
A little wobble.
I'm going to go over like tire pressure and stuff, the simple stuff.
Yeah.
Grease the front end, go through
It's been a few years since it's been on the road, so
10.
some stuff you got to work out. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good to see it out and about, though.
Yeah, it feels good to drive it.
I'm sure. All right, so we made a sizable dent today. We got all three of these pallet racks pretty much cleared off. There's a little bit under here we have to get for next time. Got all the hubcaps. I had my helper with today, Nate. So we got all this stuff for next time. Trailer's pretty full. Scrap trailer's definitely full. She's got some weight in her. And we gotta take all this to the mill and unload it yet today, so busy day. Are you gonna unload all this? We loaded it, you have to unload it.
No!
Yes.
No.
That's what Matt said. He said if he's paying you today. And our fearless leader was with us today.
All right, so it is Friday, and I don't think I've talked much on camera. I've been very busy this week. We were doing a lot of labor at the mill this week, and yes, I was running around doing deconstruction and playing project coordinator with different roofers. Roofer Tony was doing a bunch of work this week, and they made good progress up on that. And I got the one roof, just started resealing that, so that's good. Today's, like I said, Friday, so Mike's actually off today because we are going on a big trip next week, and all of his kids' birthdays kind of fall on this last week and the week before. This week? Yeah, anyways, his kids' birthdays fall on like this time of year, so he's taking the day off with the family, and we're gonna hold it down at the shop here. So I got some people picking up parts today. A lot of times Fridays and the weekends have become kind of like a little busy because a lot of people that have normal jobs and different things, they want to pick up on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we don't really have weekend hours. We don't really have hours, but people do pick stuff up. So I have some people picking stuff up today. I've also in the background, this is kind of my life lately. So we already had, it's a lot of scrap and trash lately. So we got a bunch of scrap from that estate we were cleaning out. This is just stuff that we were going through, and we had a bunch of wheels and stuff at some of these estates, and then Steve took a bunch of tires off. Take tires off and you find that the wheel is super pitted and thin, and there's junk in here from the mill that's just been laying around on the property outside. So this scrap trailer, even though we emptied it only 2 or 3 days ago, it's already getting filled up again. And then like on this side, this is again just stuff at the mill I've been doing. Every time I'm there, I try and do a little bit, even if I'm only there for like an hour. So you got all this, you know, old wood, broken recycling bin, that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to clean up, and like I always say, try and make the property look like the person that owns it now isn't abandoning it. Not that they were before, just years of, you know, use. So anyways, walk inside, we'll show you a little bit what's going on with the shop. It's kind of a mess in here because we're juggling multiple things. So Steve got the rear out. My buddy George, local friend, car guy, has a lot of cars. He has a 34 pickup, and he wants to redo the rear with a better gear set in his truck. So he was interested in this rear so he can have it rebuilt, or he can rebuild it with a better ring and pinion. So this way he can just swap them in and out. So I'm gonna maybe this weekend take this to him. We'll of course keep our wheels and tires. And then we have another rear here, end of the day yesterday. This is actually the rear that's off that Channel 39 Merc that I went and got in New York with a friend of mine years ago. I bought his leftover stuff because he's not doing as traditional of a build, so I bought his old rear. And we need some drums for the Columbia that got drug lost. So rear number 3 in a small area. So George did a great job. George has been doing Columbias for us. Locally, he kind of has the hang of it now, and he's starting to do pretty good. This one was a little difficult because we gave him a Columbia in a box, and we all had a learning experience of differences in stock rears, the Columbia parts, all kinds of stuff. So this has been bulletproofed. It actually had a cracked like carriage, I forget the correct term for it, that was actually cracked, that the gentleman out in Arizona that does the bulletproofing, he repairs. So I had it repaired. And then George did all the, you know, putting it back together and setting it up. The vacuum canister that actually switches the 2-speed rear has been all redone with a new leather seal, and it's all back together. These axle tubes have actually been re-sleeved and are repaired, so they're all super nice. But what we realized is we've been selling a lot of drums, brake drums, and using them. So our pile was empty.
We're out.
Yeah, I was panicking yesterday. I'm like running around. I'm like, how am I out of good drums? So
had to take apart 4 different rear ends to get one good set of drums.
So under the pile, I bought this from our buddy Brooke that has the Merc. Man, I feel like it was 2 or 3 summers ago. And it was just on the bottom of the pile of rears. And I'm like, oh, what's that rear? And Mike goes, I think that's from that Mercury. And I started pulling it apart. And luckily, these drums, this is one of these rears that somebody redid the brakes, cut the drums. The shoes are literally brand new. They're still printing on the shoes here. Like, so this thing was like, the brakes were basically never used. They were actually kind of like not even really adjusted fully. So somebody redid the brakes in this car, and then the car never really saw the road, and it sat for all those years. So good for us. We're going to steal all the brake guts out of this because it's all basically brand new. And then put some wheel cylinders and all the stuff in the matching. We got these kick-ass old speed hold red and black backing plates that we have the matching ones on the front.
That don't say hot rod.
Yeah, no. So we're gonna Steve's gonna be working on some of that next week while we're traveling. But the goal for this week or today is to get the spring back on the rear, and then throw some drums on and try and maybe get the drive shaft figured out, because that's the part I need to be involved in. So that's the plan for today. We'll see where we get to.
right, so I'm gonna I just realized actually that this weekend, or this week and weekend, is the Makunji Antique Truck Show. The Antique Truck Club of America puts on a really good, I think it might be the biggest, or one of the biggest, like truck shows in the country. It is a really great show. It takes up like the whole park. There's a ton of, so everything from like half-ton and small trucks all the way up to big rigs that are there that are all old, and it's really fun. We've shown it before, but anyways, I just realized that is going on right now. Today's Friday, and it's supposed to rain pretty much all weekend, so I think it's going to kill a lot of the shows. So I'm going to run down there, jump in the 38, take a drive, and it's a perfect day outside. We're going to take a drive out and go look at some trucks, just show you a couple little tidbits. I'm not going to do a ton of filming there, but we'll show you guys that and try and round out my week at least, and I'll let Steve stay here working.
If I may have your attention, please. I have some good news for some of you.
All right, so week's over. Steve just left for the weekend, and we got all the cars inside and parts around. So you can see we're kind of midstream in the Columbia swap here. So I went and got Steve a bunch of parts. These radius rods here. This next week he's going to work on cleaning them up, painting them. The drums and the brakes and stuff over there. He's going to swap all the brake parts out of that are basically brand new. He ground the 40 springs so that it will fit the 34 curved spring rear cross member, and the sedan delivery is just sitting here floating right now, waiting for its new part. So it's basically been a week of madness as always. We did a little bit of everything. I haven't been really doing hardly any car stuff, at least for car work lately, because trying to get all of this stuff going on the mill has been my main priority. I want to get this place under control for be hopefully this season, so that we don't have leaking roofs and all that stuff. We made Tony the roofer made good progress on the roof. We'll show that maybe next week. And we got a little bit of deconstruction going on in some of the old stuff in the mill, among a ton of other stuff that I'm sure I forgot to film. And we drove old cars a little bit this week too, which was really good. So that's all I have for this one. Thank you guys for following along. We're about to head on a big trip, or another one of our trips next week. So make sure you keep an eye out for that video as always. And then the week in the life will show some of the behind the scenes stuff of what goes on next week. So thank you guys for following along. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you later.